Hi, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Yelena, and in this tutorial, we look at Bakasana.
Bakasana is crow pose. As a posture, it shows up in Ashtanga's intermediate series. We have two versions actually, one where we statically hold, and then one we jump into from downward facing dog. But this pose also shows up in the vinyasa sequence in the primary series. It shows up after Bhujapadasana and after Supta Karmasana.
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's something that you kind of need to get a good fix on. And what we want to focus on is the straight arms in Bakasana. Technically, that's how this posture is supposed to be done. It's especially difficult when you're doing primary series and learning how to do it and doing the vinyasa, because usually we'll start from a bent elbow position and it can be tough to straighten the arms as we bring the legs back and around.
Yeah, bent elbows allows us to distribute weight a little bit more evenly and feel like we're a little bit more in control. But what we're working towards is having perfectly straight arms with the knees all the way up in the armpits.
It's tough, but doable. All right, so let's look at the posture first, and then we can give you some tips on how to get in. So if we were to be setting up for the pose itself, not doing the vinyasa in the primary series, then we would start in what we would call Pushasana position. So in a squat position with the knees bent, and then you're going to come off of the heels onto the tiptoes, open your knees and put the knees into the armpits, or just above the triceps on the back of the arms, and then squeeze the feet together so the heels are touching. The arms are going to stay straight the whole time, so it was lifting the heels that brought the knees high enough up. Don't bend your elbows and drop your chest down. Okay, so keep your arms straight here. Keep the knees against the arms, but you're also going to start to squeeze your thighs in towards each other just to stop them from slipping down and out. And then slowly start to shift your weight so that you feel the weight in the fingertips, straightening the arms completely, keeping the back round. Eventually, you're going to flex the knees and bring the heels up towards the bum. Drishti is the nose. All right, so that's Bakasana position. Now, if you're working on it, hand position is going to make a really big difference. So you want your hands to be the usual distance apart, the same that we'd have for chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog, which is shoulder width. But when we say shoulder width, we want the inner edge of your palm to be in line with the middle of the shoulder. So make sure your hands are wide enough. Often they're not being placed wide enough. Yep. And then the index fingers are pointing straight towards the front of the mat. So you're slightly turning your hands out. Try to keep your hands very active, especially when you're doing any kind of arm balance, because it's your fingertips that'll stop you from tipping forward. So you're going to press down through the fingers, through the tips of the thumbs, like you're grabbing the mat. And then you want to feel like your index knuckle of the hand is pressing down into the floor as well. So spin your arms in to help you find that pressure through the index knuckle of the hand. And then while you're spinning the arms in and pushing down through the index knuckles, push the shoulders back and try to press your chest away from the floor so that you'll feel your upper back round up like an angry cat, and your rhomboids are puffed. All right, so now we're going to try to hold that shape and walk the feet in towards the hands. This is where we sometimes start to flatten the back out because the feet start to do too much work. We're holding ourselves up just with our legs and the hands aren't working at all. So here, start to shift your weight just a little bit forward so you don't have any choice at all. You've got to start to use the arms. And when you place your knees, try to get the front of the knee on the back of the arm instead of, the knee coming to the outsides of the arms, because you're making it harder there for yourself. You're going to have to squeeze in to keep the leg up on the arm. If you put it knee against the upper arm, gravity will help keep the leg in place. You'll just feel the traction of the knee on the arm holding you there. Okay, now keeping the arm straight, keeping the puff, you can drop your hips a little bit down and start to shift your weight forward so you start to feel your fingers take over. Why not just lift one foot first? So lift your right heel up towards your bum. See if you can shift into your fingertips around the back, and then bring your right foot down. Same thing on the left side now. Lift your left foot up, shift your weight forward, push into your fingers, round your back, puff your rhomboids, and then left foot comes back down. Okay, take a breath, and then Get back into position, heels lift, get the knees in the armpits, arms are stay straight. Remember, index knuckles press into the floor, push your shoulders back, and then try to hold the knees and the arms. Keep shifting forward. Let your shoulders come past your wrists, over your fingers, until the feet get light enough to lift off the floor. Try to keep the heels together, lift your chin slightly, and gaze to your nose. All right. Good.
One of the interesting things that starts to happen as you resist through the floor and you really ground through your fingertips and your index knuckle, you might notice that the middle of the palm starts to kind of come off the floor. It almost feels like it's suctioning. If that's happening, that's good. You want to keep that because that means that there is an engagement and there is a resistance against the floor.
Yeah, I've heard it described as a hand bandha.
Hand bandha?
Yeah.
No.
So if we're doing the movement back from Bhujapidasana or Suptakromasana, then you're going to have to bring your legs around. So this is the position we're talking about where sometimes your elbows bend and then you're going to have to come back to a straight line. So it could seem like it's all about your arms, right? Trying to straighten the arms. But I find that it's really actually about the legs. And being able to maintain that inward squeeze with the thighs helps me to hold the legs up high enough on the arms. If I just focus on trying to straighten the arms without squeezing the legs together, then the knees start to slide down, becomes really difficult. So that adduction, squeezing the thighs together, squeezing the legs in towards the side body. Watch what happens. Yelena brings her feet away from each other, but the thighs should still be squeezing together. And then she's going to push, the elbows might bend a little bit as she dips the chest and head forward to bring the legs back. And then still squeezing the legs, the feet will come to touch. All right, she made it look pretty easy. If you're working on that, you could always put one foot down on the floor first and bring the other leg back, and then try to bring the other foot back and lift into the Bakasana. So watch, one foot can come down, and then it would be the right foot in Bhujapidasana would come back first, and she's going to squeeze, foot will come down, and then the left leg will come back. Try to keep the foot off the floor if you can. Both feet can come down, you can reposition, and then shift your weight forward and lift into Bakasana. From here, eventually you're going to jump back into Chaturanga Dandasana, but we can talk about that next time. So I hope that's been useful for you. If you want to learn more, then make sure to subscribe. And if you have any questions at all about this, or you want to see other stuff from us, please let us know in the comments section.
See you soon.
Bye.